So, here's a question. If you're a fan of WWE, which many are, and in some eyes, or in some wrestling eyes, I should say, unfortunately, because there is that division of AEW fans versus WWE fans and stuff, and the AEW ones are more like, really, you're a fan of that crap? Well, yeah, there's a lot of fans. Um, and I'm a fan as well. I'm a fan of all wrestling in general. So, I'm one of those fans that will watch AEW, WWE, that will watch, TNA, Impact Wrestling, that will watch MLW, you name it. If it's got wrestling, I'll try to catch it and see what it has to offer. But, if you're a fan of WWE, or basically you're a fan of all wrestling like me, you may have noticed that it seems lately that Monday Night Raw has gotten more focus and attention than SmackDown. Now, some would say that's because Vince McMahon is not pushing anything anymore, and basically not influencing the outcome of things and whatnot. And that might be true. That might be true. Maybe it's because he's out, recovering from that spinal surgery, or maybe it's because he's getting ready to be put into a position to where he's not going to be able to really have the call anymore on what goes on in that company, because he will no longer own said company. Now, be that as it may, however you want to look at it, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed over the past several weeks that Monday Night Raw has gotten a lot more attention, as I mentioned, than SmackDown. Like, SmackDown is kind of like, it's okay. It's, sometimes good, good, beneficial, in some cases. Sometimes it's used as setup and stuff, and so is Raw. It's used as setup. But a lot of people have noticed that the 3 hours of Raw have been going by fast due to the fact that it seems to be the Monday Night Raw that they always hoped it would be under Triple H. Good, good in the presentation, storylines developing, stuff like that. But and in the process, even though SmackDown shows a bit of that as well, it's almost like SmackDown's a little, I guess you could say, convoluted. Like, it's a little mismanaged. Like, something is not going right there. And I think there might be a reason. Now, I don't know if I've mentioned this here on the channel before, but I'm going to mention it here. I think the reason SmackDown is getting the lower end of the creative stick compared to Monday Night Raw is because of the fact that, well, right now, WWE has not secured a deal to continue airing Raw on the Fox network. They have yet to secure some kind of deal. Now, they have to the end of October of next year to get something done. But right now, they have yet to do anything. And it seems, apparently, depending on who you want to believe, it seems that Fox may not want to have SmackDown around much longer. And if that's the case, and that's the feeling WWE's getting, then obviously they're going to show more favoritism to the show that's on the network, on the family of networks that wants to keep it, that being the NBC networks, the Universal networks, the Comcast networks, like USA. So they're going to show more love to Raw, which is on USA, than SmackDown, which is on Fox. Now you might say, well, that's kind of stupid to do and everything. And it's true, it is kind of stupid to do. But when you think about it, when you really think about it, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically, in my opinion, kind of a motivational tool, if you will. It's a motivational tool by the WWE, a very motivational negotiation tool. And that motivational negotiation tool is to show Fox, hey, this is what you could be having on SmackDown, every week, unlike what you're getting right now, if you work a deal with us. If you work a deal with us, you'll get this on Fridays, just as you're seeing it on Raw. That's what mainly this is. This is mainly a negotiating motivational tool to get Fox to say, hey, we like what's going on there. Maybe we should keep, SmackDown on Fox. Okay, we'll agree to your term. That's what this is. That's what it is. It's a negotiating tactic, motivational negotiating tool to get SmackDown, or to get Fox to come up, to agree to some kind of deal with WWE to keep SmackDown on Fox. Because if that doesn't happen, then the ones that are going to reap the benefits from a broadcast television perspective is going to be more than likely NBC. NBC will be the ones that benefit more so than anything, because that seems to be the leading candidate to have SmackDown on their network on Friday nights. But that's just me. That's just what I see along with others. So to me, in my opinion, I think the reason WWE is doing this again is to motivate, Fox, to kind of motivate them, negotiate with them into keeping SmackDown on Fox on their network by showing, more love to Raw on the NBC network of USA, the Comcast Universal network of USA, over over what they could be, or over basically over giving it to SmackDown, basically showing more love to Raw than they would on SmackDown. That's what I was trying to say. So I think that's what it is. I think that's why SmackDown, even though it's all right and it sometimes is good, it has bright spots here and there, and again, like I said, it could be used for setup according to many people, like this past Friday's was. It seems to be getting the short end of that creative stick because, again, I think it's more of WWE using a negotiation tactic to say, look, we want Fox, Fox, we want SmackDown to remain on your show, and we're willing to give you what we're doing on Raw on SmackDown once again, because SmackDown used to be what Raw is doing right now creatively. They'll be like, look, we'll give you what you want for SmackDown, and everything, that we're giving to Raw creatively and viewership-wise, but we need you to agree with us on a deal, and that's it. And I think that's what it really is in the long run. It's a motivational, negotiational tool and tactic to get a deal made. Now, could it backfire on WWE? Absolutely. It could definitely backfire because Fox would be like, hey, we're not falling for that. We're not falling for that or anything. And you know what? You could take your SmackDown and, go to that Peacock network, that network with the peacock feathers for, a logo, and keep it there. And we don't want to have anything to do with it. And that might happen too. Because, even though this seems like a very risky, if not smart, negotiational, motivational tactic to get a deal made, it could also backfire on them in the long run. But what do you guys think? Do you think WWE is doing the right thing by trying to, I guess, motivate Fox into, negotiating a deal with them to keep SmackDown on the Fox network by showing them, by showing more love to Monday Night Raw on USA than over, the love they should be, over that same love they should be showing SmackDown on Fox? Let me know. Let me know down in the comments, as well as in the live chat doing it from here. Like the video. You will get a podcast version of this at BW Rose's Discussion Podcast. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Do you agree with my opinions on this or not? Or do you think maybe I'm just grasping for straws? Or do you see what I see? Because to me, it seems a little weird that ever since Fox and WWE have come to a standstill, and it seems Fox is more like, yeah, we don't want anything to do with the company anymore, that WWE is showing more love to Raw on USA. Is it just me, or have you noticed that too? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later.